Hey guys, Jen here from PepperHarrow Farm. We're in central Iowa, zone 5B, and a lot of you have been asking about how to harvest cosmos properly for the longest vase life. We've been harvesting a lot of cosmos here for farmers markets, local florists, and for standard market bouquets. I'm going to show you today how to harvest these cosmos out to give you the longest vase life. We separate out our cosmos here in a few different areas. What you see here is in our production cut flower fields, and we also have a giant wildflower field of cosmos in the back, but they also work for really great cut flowers. We use both places to harvest our cosmos, to use them for local florists, grocery store bouquets, and for farmers market. My very favorite kind of cosmos is cupcake cosmos. They're a little bit weak, but I just love the shape of them, and they always add a beautiful pop into a bouquet. This is where my cupcake cosmos are growing, and they're a little less prolific than some of my other varieties, but I have a lot here to be able to choose from to show you how to cut one at the proper stage today. This is the absolute best stage to cut a cosmo in, and you can see it's not quite open, but you can see that the petals have started to peel away from the center. This is the absolute perfect stage to be able to harvest a cosmo, but you can even cut them a little bit more closed than this in order to get a bloom. This is a good example of a bloom that is still closed, but some of the petals have peeled back, and this will end up popping open once you harvest it and take it inside. It may take 24 hours, but it will absolutely open up and produce a beautiful bloom. And you can see how closed up it is, but you can see how peeled back the petals are here, and it's broken away from this little enclosure that was on it. So this will end up blooming. Occasionally I find blooms like this, where you can see there's a couple not so hot looking ones that the bugs have really been after. I will end up cutting out these two kind of crummy blooms, and I will still use this bloom, and it has a bonus bloom on it. This little guy here will end up blooming and doing a really great job. So you're going to cut the whole stem, and you're going to end up just cutting out these two kind of crummy ones to be able to use it for this bloom and this other guy that's just starting to open. As I harvest, I look for some of these not so open ones. These are prime for me. So as I'm going through and looking for blooms, this is what I'm looking for. Not the ones that are completely open. I'm looking for ones that are semi-open or just starting to open. Usually I try to deadhead a little bit as I'm going along, but this guy would be perfect. And you can kind of see it. It's not completely open, but I know this is one that would pop open. I would harvest it and it would end up popping open, and it would be a perfect bloom. Here's another really great example. The type of vase life that you can expect if you cut a cosmo at this stage is at least 7 days. I find that they last a very long time. When I'm harvesting right like this, they're gonna last a long time for me. Here's another variety I absolutely love this year. This is Apricotta Cosmos. They're looking a little tired right now at this point. They've been blooming for a couple months, so they're like, need to be reinvigorated a little bit. They're tired, and I get it. Me too. Same. We are probably towards the third week of August, right? We're at the third week of August. They have been blooming since June, and they're tired. What would help with this is if I had done a succession planting of another round of Apricotta Cosmos. Instead, I just planted all of them at the same time. Shame on me. I know better than that, but I did it anyway. But I'll show you guys the wildflower field that we have in the back. That is it was our second succession, taking the place of these more production-oriented cosmos. Why people love Apricotta is it has kind of a mauve hue. It blends really well with some brown earth tones and looks absolutely gorgeous. So it was a highly sought after cosmo this year. And I would say this was probably our first primary in-demand Cosmo, followed by white Cosmos being second. So as you're doing your planning for your garden next year, think about that as really good color options for Cosmos.
Well, am I getting in your shot?
Step in there.
I want to show this. Is it
Perfect. You're showing the color. Wow, the colors, by the way, in this shot look amazing.
so? If they breed this color in like the cupcake, multi-petal kind of one, the bonbon or whatever it's called.
It's cupcake.
I don't know.
There's one called Rose Bonbon, and we really love Rose Bonbon too.
Is that the color of the cupcake?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, we grew blush cupcakes, but somehow some of them were white. I don't know how that works. We're walking over to this beautiful little area. I wanted to show you these Cosmos, but the chicken's back here because we had apples on the ground and she's getting the last of the remnants. This is the most beautiful Cosmos we grew this year. This is bicolor violet and wow, absolutely gorgeous. And I used these in botanical dyeing and whoa, ooh la la. It was incredible. So I would not cut this, it's too late, unless I was like cutting to bring this in for myself or to use it for botanical dyeing too. It really makes a nice print on a fabric. But what I would be looking for, y'all probably saw, I'd be looking for this. This is the one I would cut, something closed up, just starting to open, right like that. You saw that light color, but there's also a dark color. Show this one. Just gorgeous. This color is called Veluti. And I love Veluti because of this bicolor. Again, it is a really popular one when we have floral design classes. And it kind of can come in many different shades. Again, you can see just this really beautiful cranberry color. It is so, so good. Okay, so I'm gonna harvest some Cosmos here. Is that okay?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
All right, so this is when the florists tell me they need like 200 stems of Cosmos that I start to freak out because it is a little bit tedious to harvest Cosmos. Do you like it, Adam?
I can't stand it.
All right, so I showed y'all what they look like. We're gonna harvest all these half ones, and we field strip here. So I've harvested, what do you think that is, 24 inches? I try to keep them all the same length, and I pull off the greenery off the bottom. I leave some at the top, but you can see this is gonna bloom, and these little side ones might. This one definitely will because it's starting to pop open. It's kind of like a sunflower. If any of those are starting to peel back off of the sepal, they'll do their thing. So is that what it's called, a sepal?
I have no idea. Flower part.
Okay. I'm getting this one. It's a little bit more open, but not completely open. So it has some vase life it's going to be able to give me. And we actually have a pink wedding on the farm tomorrow. We have a bridal party coming out to make some bouquets. And I think these would look absolutely gorgeous in their bouquets. So I'm going to go ahead and cut them for their buckets of blooms that they can use. This is just a nice example of a harvest of Cosmos, probably 10 stems here of Cosmos that are going to have a super long vase life. Check out the wildflower Cosmos, and we want to show you what they look like. Cosmos are so delicate. It's kind of hard to pick up their essence on the camera, but boy, there is such a beautiful show going on here. Cosmos just blowing in the breeze so beautifully. I hope you all loved today's video about how to harvest Cosmos. If you want to see more like this, comment below, and if you think of any questions that I didn't address, put them below too. As always, thanks for joining and happy growing.